Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving a very short book review of SADIE by Courtney Summers. Before I get into that book review though, I do just want to mention really fast that it is raining outside. I'm not sure if you can hear it in this video, but it is pouring and it's very gloomy outside, so the quality of this video is likely not going to be good, but I have been putting off doing this book review for like 2 weeks now, and I just need to get it done. So here I am on this very rainy day, which I love. I love rainy days. I love the vibes. But yeah, the quality of this video isn't going to be the best, but it's fine. Anyway, back to the book review. Today I'll be reviewing SADIE. This was one of the books on my 22 books to read in 2022 challenge. I have read 5 books for that challenge so far. SADIE was my 4th one, but I have read another book from that list since I finished SADIE. Also, I did read a physical copy of this book, but I gave it to somebody else to read, so I will just have a picture floating around over here throughout this video. SADIE is a young adult thriller that is kind of split up into 2 parts. You have a podcast element, so every other chapter is a podcast written. It's like a true crime podcast, and there's this person and he is sharing about this case that he's following, about this girl named SADIE. She's run away from home recently after her sister was murdered, and her godmother, SADIE's godmother, wants to find out where SADIE went. So this guy who does a true crime podcast, he kind of takes on the case and tries to figure out what happened to SADIE. And then in the other chapters, we follow SADIE as she's on the run trying to get revenge for her sister's death. A lot of things happen to her, and yeah, she's just very angry and she's willing to do whatever it takes to get revenge for the death of her sister. So in SADIE's chapters, we do get the present with SADIE, seeking this revenge for her sister's death, and also we get glimpses of the past, and we get to see how SADIE grew up with her sister and their relationship with their mom, which for SADIE wasn't always that great, or really ever that great. Yeah, so we just kind of get to learn more about SADIE as she is trying to, get revenge, and we get to follow her story, and also we get to see it from the perspective of people who have no idea what happened to SADIE when she went missing. Before I share my thoughts on this book, I do just want to mention some of the trigger warnings for it. There is graphic violence, murder, sexual assault, and pedophilia. I do just like to mention these in my review videos for anybody who likes to be aware of the trigger warnings before they pick a book up. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I don't often read books with the podcast element in it, and I really liked how it was done in this case. I listened to the audiobook for this one and would 100% recommend picking up the audiobook if you haven't yet read this one and want to. It has a full cast, and it was just so captivating and engaging to listen to. I really liked getting to see the perspective of different characters aside from just SADIE, although I did really enjoy hearing her story as well. Although, what she went through made me very angry, it broke my heart, and I felt all these other emotions. I appreciated that we kind of got to see an outside perspective as well from the podcast person and SADIE's godmother. It was kind of nice, I guess, to kind of be able to view the story from all these different angles. So far this year, I have kind of struggled to find thrillers that I've been really enjoying. So I am very excited that this one just really seemed to captivate me, and I really do believe that the audiobook played a big role in that. I have listened to very few audiobooks that have a full cast, and it just totally changed my reading experience. I would probably say that the audiobook bumped up my rating from 3 stars to 4 stars. Without it, I would have still enjoyed the book, but the audio just really added a whole new level to it that I wasn't expecting. SADIE is not a super long book. It's maybe 300 pages. I flew through it pretty quickly, and overall, I really enjoyed it. I love books that are just dark and gritty and atmospheric, and I like how Courtney Summers wove all of those things together to make a book that definitely is not an easy read, but one that is still very interesting and intriguing and is very easy to get into. This book has been published for a couple of years now. I have had it on my radar for what feels like forever and finally got the book last year. Never ended up picking it up, as seems to be the normal case with a lot of the books that I buy. That is beside the point. I finally read it for this 22 books in a 2022 challenge that I'm doing for myself, and I'm so glad that I did, and I'm so glad that I was able to pass it along to somebody else to read it. I would recommend checking this book out if you haven't already. It is a very popular book on YA Bookstagram, and I believe I've seen it on a couple of book talk tables as well in Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. Could be wrong about that, but I feel like I have seen it quite frequently recently, and I would also recommend checking this one out. This is a very short book review. I read this book a couple of weeks ago and haven't really felt like filming aside from very short vlog updates that I have going on right now. So I'm glad to finally have motivated myself to sit down and film this short review video for y'all. I am trying to keep myself accountable, hold myself accountable, and make review videos for each of the books that I read on my 22 books to read in 2022 list. I will have the other review videos that I have done this year linked in the description down below if you would like to check them out. I have also read Cemetery Boys, Radio Silence, The Second Best Haunted Hotel on Mercer Street, and A Dowry of Blood. So if you're interested in reading any of those books, feel free to watch my reviews on those. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.